In my past life, I was falsely accused of cheating on the Gaokao, with both eyewitness testimony and physical evidence. There's no room for denial, banned from exams for 3 years, cyberbullied across the internet. I jumped from the rooftop. When I opened my eyes again, it was the day of the college entrance exam. The school heartthrob texted me, "Try not to accidentally bring your phone in with you today." Okay, I just laughed. This time, I chose a different path. I simply didn't show up for the exam. "Are you accusing me of cheating? I wasn't even there. Who are you putting on this show for?" The homeroom teacher yelled over the phone. "You're trending online for bringing a phone into the Gaokao. You'd better come clean." Leaning back in the internet cafe chair, I said slowly, "Teacher, I never even set foot in the exam hall today. How could I possibly have cheated?" There was a 5-second silence on the other end of the line. Guess what expression the school heartthrob had on his face when he heard the news? Chapter 1. I woke up to the jarring sound of a ringing phone. My head is throbbing, as if it's been struck with a hammer. The scene before me was all too familiar. The white ceiling, the yellowed fluorescent light, and next to the pillow, a tattered copy of 5 years of college entrance exams, 3 years of simulated tests. This is my room at home. I jolted upright. The phone screen lit up, the date glaring back at me. June 7th, 2019, the first day of the Gaokao. I froze. No, I should be dead. The rooftop on the 37th floor. I remember it clearly. The wind is strong, and someone downstairs is screaming. I took a step forward, and here I am. The phone vibrated briefly. A WeChat message popped up. Note, Lu Ziqian, Bro Bay. Good luck on the college entrance exam today. Just don't accidentally bring your phone in. Cheating on the Gaokao is a serious offense. 3 dog head emojis followed. I stared at the message for a long time. In my past life, I took that message as a joke among friends, smiled, and let it go. Then I entered the examination room. Then a phone that wasn't mine was found in my backpack. Then the invigilator's expression shifted from confusion to anger. Then, Lu Ziqian stood in the hallway and said to the onlooking classmates with a concerned expression, "Lin Bei couldn't have cheated, could he? I believe in him." His eyes sparkled with a smile as he said it. It was only after I died that I understood that smile. I took a deep breath. I pressed my finger on the screen and took a screenshot of the message, save. Then I rolled out of bed, got dressed, and grabbed my wallet and ID. My mom called from the living room, "Baby, hurry up and eat your breakfast. The exam starts at 8:30. What are you dawdling for?" "Mom, I'm heading out. At least eat something before you go. I boiled you some eggs, 2 of them, for good luck." "Mom." I turned back. My mother stood there in her apron, holding a plate, her face etched with that uniquely Chinese parental blend of nervousness and hopeful anticipation. In her past life, after the incident, she lost a full 20 pounds. Neighbors whispered behind her back, relatives cut off contact, and at the market, she was pointed at and accused of raising a cheater for a son. She didn't retaliate with insults. She just came home and sat alone in the living room, lost in thought for the entire afternoon. Watching her, I suddenly felt a lump in my throat. "Mom, pack me some boiled eggs. I'll eat them on the way." "All right, sure thing." I stepped out with 2 warm eggs in my pocket. Didn't go to school, didn't go to the exam hall. I went to an internet cafe 3 blocks away from school, Feiyu Internet Cafe. The place was nothing special, a bit grimy, with greasy keyboards. But it had one redeeming feature: surveillance cameras, the 24/7 kind. I found a seat directly facing a camera, logged into a terminal, and ordered a lemonade. Launched the game. In my past life, at this exact moment on the day of the college entrance exam, I was sitting in the examination hall, writing an essay for the Chinese language paper. In this life, at this exact moment on the day of the college entrance exam, I'm sitting in an internet cafe, selecting my champion on the screen. No rush, the real show is just getting started. 9 o'clock sharp, the college entrance exam Chinese language section officially begins. I'm farming minions at the internet cafe. Honestly, my mindset is completely different when I'm gaming. In my past life, I was on pins and needles in the exam hall. In this life, I'm as steady as a rock in the internet cafe, because I know exactly what's happening in that exam hall. Lu Ziqian's plan was simple, but deadly. He had planted a phone under my seat in the exam hall ahead of time, a phone that could connect to the internet and receive answers. About 40 minutes after the exam begins, the phone will receive a message. The bell rings. The invigilator followed the sound and found the phone under my seat, caught red-handed with the evidence. There was also a pre-written Gaokao answer key on the phone, and a verification text message from my own number. He even linked his phone number. It's so meticulous, it's sickening. In my past life, I was completely baffled by that phone. I said that wasn't my phone. Nobody believed me. The number was linked to me. The seat was mine, and I was sitting right there. All the evidence pointed to me. Lu Ziqian stood at the edge of the crowd, speaking up for me. Could there be a mistake? He said. Lin Bei's grades are so good, he wouldn't need to cheat. The more you say it, the more it sounds like confirmation, because his underlying message was, good grades mean motivation to do better, and motivation means the potential to cheat. I didn't catch that at the time. I was so panicked. My mind went completely blank. But now, I'm sitting in the internet cafe, eating the eggs my mom boiled, feeling unusually calm, because this time, I'm not in the exam hall. The phone will still ring, and the sound will still reach the proctor, but the person sitting in the seat won't be me. In fact, no one will be sitting in that seat, because I missed the exam. Oh, Lu Ziqian, you schemed and calculated every detail, but never accounted for one possibility. What if I just don't go at all? Are you going to tell everyone that an empty seat brought a phone into the exam room? 9:43, my phone rang, caller ID, Sun Guodong, my homeroom teacher, I answered, leaning back in my chair, my tone casual. Hello, Mr. Sun. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line, then Sun Guodong's voice exploded through the receiver, like a string of firecrackers with its fuse lit. Lin Bei, you explain yourself. The incident of you bringing a phone into the Gaokao exam hall has been reported. The invigilation team is documenting it right now. The school administration already knows. You get over here right now. Immediately, Mr. Sun. I cut him off. Are you saying I brought a phone into the Gaokao exam? The evidence is solid. The phone was found right under your seat. The number, Mr. Sun. I interrupted him again. My voice was flat, devoid of anger or panic. I didn't go to the exam hall today. The voice on the other end of the line cut off abruptly. It was as if someone had hit the pause button. There was silence for about 3 seconds. Then Sun Guodong's voice came back on. But this time it was clearly confused. What did you say? I said. I didn't go to the exam hall this morning at all. I didn't take the college entrance exam. That's impossible, Mr. Sun. You can check the surveillance footage at the exam room entrance right now to see if I entered. You can also ask the invigilator to confirm whether my signature appears on the attendance list. I paused. You can also check where I am right now. I'm at the Feiyu Internet Cafe, playing a game right in front of the security camera. Want me to ask the manager to pull up the footage for you? On the other end of the line, silence, a very, very long silence. I can picture Sun Guodong's expression right now, mouth agape, eyes wide, 100 questions probably swirling in his mind. He's the classic high school homeroom teacher type, the kind who's always ready to convict first and ask questions later. That's exactly how he treated me in my past life. He'd flat out accuse me of cheating, then demand I come clean, never even giving me a chance to explain myself. But this time, I gave him an answer that was completely beyond the scope of his experience. You're accusing me of cheating. I'm not even around. How do you make that up? Are you serious, Mr. Sun? Do I look like someone who would joke about something as serious as the Gaokao? Then why on earth didn't you take the exam? His tone shifted, from anger to utter disbelief. For a senior high school student, after 3 years of grueling preparation, to skip the Gaokao on the very day. The very idea was utterly absurd. I'm not feeling well, I said. I woke up feeling dizzy this morning and was worried I might have an issue during the exam, so I didn't go. That excuse certainly doesn't hold up under scrutiny, but it doesn't matter now. The crucial thing is, that phone in the exam hall has nothing to do with me. I wasn't there. The perfect alibi. You don't hang up yet. Let me go check on that. Sun Guodong's tone had completely changed. He went from flying into a rage to treading on eggshells, because he realized a problem. If I really hadn't gone to the exam, then his outburst of accusations just now would have been a joke, and it's the kind of joke that gets you into trouble. Sure, go ahead and check. I'll stay on the line. I'm finishing off the kill while waiting. The ice in the lemonade had mostly melted, leaving beads of condensation on the glass. In the internet cafe, someone was cursing at their teammates, another was jiggling their leg, and the clatter of keyboards filled the air. This was the first morning of my new life. Everyone else was scribbling Furiously in the exam hall, I was furiously last-hitting minions in the internet cafe. Not bad at all. 5 minutes later, Sun Guodong called back. His tone grew nuanced. It's like taking a bite of sushi you thought was chocolate, only to find it's wasabi. Lin Bei, the exam center has confirmed it. You really didn't sign in. They're also checking the surveillance footage at the entrance, and from the initial look, you really weren't at the test site. That phone, Mr. Sun, I said. Slowly, enunciating every word, I wasn't in the exam hall, but a phone was found under my assigned seat. Don't you think that's strange? I wasn't even there, so who could have left the phone? Silence returned on the other end of the line, but the quality of this silence was palpably different. The last one had been confusion. This time, the more you think about it, the more terrifying it becomes. This matter. I need to report it to my superiors. Don't go anywhere for now, the school might want to speak with you. I'll be ready whenever. I hung up the phone, glanced at the record. 8-2-6, not bad. It passes. Then I opened WeChat, scrolled to Lu Ziqian's message, and read it again. Hey Bei, good luck on the Gaokao today. Just make sure you don't accidentally bring your phone in. Cheating on the exam is a serious offense. Look, he said, don't accidentally bring your phone in there. It's not. Don't forget your admission ticket. It's not. Don't be late, he specifically mentioned. Cell phone and examination hall. In my past life, I thought this was just an offhand remark between friends. Looking at it now, this was no simple remark. It was a condescending, pre-written spoiler. He's showing off. He was savoring the thrill of knowing the prey had no idea it was about to walk into a trap. I took another look at the screenshot of the message to confirm it was saved properly. This is the first move. It's all settled right now. I can imagine what Lu Ziqian is doing. He must be in an exam hall too. A different one, of course. Someone as outstanding as him would never be assigned to the same location as me. He's probably finished his Chinese exam by now and is in a good mood, because according to his plan, I should be in the proctor's office right now, pale as a ghost and unable to defend myself. He doesn't know I never showed up. He still has no idea. No rush. Let the bullet fly for a while. Chapter 2. The news began to spread around noon as the first morning of the Gaokao ended. Students streamed out of the exam centers. The moment they turned on their phones, their group chats exploded. Holy crap, did you hear? Someone at No. 3 high school brought their phone into the Gaokao exam hall. Who is it? I think it's from class 6, grade 12. Someone named Lin something. Lin Bei. That Lin Bei who ranked in the top 3 of the grade in the mock exams. Yes, that's him. The phone was found right under his seat, and the invigilator caught him red-handed. The news spread faster than light. By 12:30 p.m., the hashtag, student caught with phone in Gaokao, was already trending on the local hot search list. No names were mentioned, but insiders in the comments have already started spilling the tea. The person who leaked the information goes by the username, Justice Passerby A. It sounded so convincing. Claims like, the student has inconsistent grades and a history of cheating, or, he has a bad relationship with the top student in the class and wanted to surpass him through cheating. Every single one is aimed squarely at me, yet, without naming names, it leaves ample room for the imagination. Sitting in the internet cafe, I read these posts with a heart as still as stagnant water. In my past life, these very posts were what killed me. It wasn't the phone that killed me, nor was it being barred from the exam. It was these posts, it was the comments. Serves him right. Someone like him doesn't deserve to go to college. What were his parents even teaching him? The malice of 10,000 strangers. Like ants, gnawed away at an 18-year-old boy, bite by bite, until nothing but a skeleton remained. But in this life, I tapped on the homepage of Justice Bystander A, registration date, today, followers, 0 followers, 3, I smiled. Lu Ziqian, can you please be a bit more professional when waging a public opinion war? You're using the trumpet without even letting it rest for a few days. I took a screenshot of this account's homepage and saved it along with those posts. The second piece, at 1 in the afternoon, someone came looking for me at the internet cafe. It wasn't Sun Guodong, it was Zhou Yan, my childhood friend. He burst into the internet cafe, sweating profusely, his backpack still on, the water bottle inside clanking noisily. The moment he entered, he scanned the room, spotted me, and charged straight over. You son of a... He was gasping so hard he couldn't form complete sentences. Leaning over the table with both hands braced on the edge, breathing in deep, ragged gulps. You didn't go to the exam, yeah, so the internet says you brought your phone into the exam hall. Do you believe it? Zhou Yan was momentarily stunned. He straightened up and looked at me. His eyes were red and puffy, though whether from anxiety or the heat was hard to say. Of course I don't believe it. He said it without a moment's hesitation, just like last time, when everyone thought I had cheated. Only Zhou Yan stood by me. He defended me on the school forum and got called birds of a feather with a cheater. He went to argue with Sun Guodong and got an earful. He called me countless times, but I never picked up, because by then, I didn't feel like talking anymore. I looked at him. Don't you have math this afternoon? What are you doing here? What's more important, math or you? Obviously, it's math. Get lost. He plopped down next to me, snatched my lemonade, and took a couple of gulps. All right, spill it. What's really going on? I didn't go to the exam hall. I'm already aware of this. Sun Guodong posted a notice in the class group saying you missed the exam due to health reasons, and the specific details are currently being verified. Then what are you doing here? Because I don't buy the health reasons excuse. Zhou Yan stared at me. If you're well enough to play games at an internet cafe, why can't you make it to the exam? Do you know something? I fell silent for a moment. You go take the math exam first. You need to clear things up with me first. We'll talk after your exam. If you don't ace it this afternoon and end up with no college to go to, who's going to help me then? Zhou Yan opened his mouth to speak, then closed it again. He knew how stubborn I could be. Once I've made up my mind, nothing in the world can change it. All right. He stood up. But you have to explain it to me after the exam. Absolutely. He walked to the door and turned back. Lin Bei, no matter what happens, I've got your back. I watched his back disappear into the internet cafe's entrance. My nose feels a little sore. In my past life, Zhou Yan said the same thing. The difference was, last time, I didn't get a chance to respond before it was too late. This time, I won't let him carry the burden alone. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the mathematics exam has begun. I switched to a single-player game at the internet cafe, something that doesn't require much thought, because I need my mind to think about what comes next. Lu Ziqian should be aware by now, know that I didn't go to the exam. He knew his plan had gone awry. How will he react? I closed my eyes, recalling every detail of my past life spent with him. Lu Ziqian has one fatal flaw. He is far too self-assured. He never believes his plans can fail, so when things go off course, he doesn't pull back. He doubles down. He will find a way to make it right. He would try to weave the incident of Lin Bei's missed exam into his own narrative framework. Just as expected, 3:17 p.m., new revelations surfaced on WeChat Moments and Weibo. Still that righteous bystander. The content this time is breaking news. It said that the examinee fled the exam site immediately upon learning he had been caught, so guilty he couldn't even enter the testing room. What else could this be but fear of punishment? The image is a blurry screenshot of a chat. It's unclear who the conversation is with, but the gist is something like, he knows he's done for and doesn't dare to take the exam at all. The comments section instantly erupted. Haha, ran away. That's way too guilty, cheating and then fleeing. This kind of person deserves 3 years in prison, no more, no less. Find out who he is. Cheaters don't deserve anonymity. I looked at these comments and a slight smile curved the corner of my mouth. Here it comes. You see, Lu Ziqian's logic goes like this. If I had gone to the exam hall, I'd be caught cheating on the spot. If I hadn't shown up for the exam, it would have looked like I got tipped off and fled to avoid punishment. No matter what I do, in his narrative, I am always guilty. In my past life, I had no power to fight back, because the act of not showing up at the exam itself, under the public's presumption of guilt, can easily be interpreted as guilt. But he overlooked one thing, the timeline. The Chinese language subject of the Gaokao begins at 9:00 a.m., and my absence from the exam was something that happened from the very start. It wasn't a case of abandoning the exam after learning of the arrest, but rather never showing up at the test center in the first place. There is surveillance at the test center entrance, and the check-in times are recorded. I was already gone before the exam even started, and that phone was discovered at 9:43 in the morning. In other words, My absence occurred before the phone was discovered. How could I possibly have dropped out of the exam early just because I found out my phone was discovered? Unless I could see the future, the inconsistency in this timeline is the second flaw Lu Ziqian left behind through his own overconfidence. The first flaw was that text message, the second is the timeline. Excellent. The chess pieces fell one by one. It's just not the right time to reveal the cards yet. I need to wait, let him talk a bit more, reveal a bit more. As he sank his foot deeper into the mud, I leaned back in my chair, my eyes fixed on the screen. In the game, my character stood in a vast wilderness, facing a colossal boss. I guided my character forward slowly, no rush. This boss, I've already figured it out in my past life. Chapter 3, at 5 p.m., the math exam concluded. This means the first day of the National College entrance examination has officially come to an end. It also means that all examinees' phones are powered on. A flood of messages came pouring in the class group chat, the grade-level group chat, on social media feeds, and on Weibo. The entire local internet was buzzing about the same thing. Someone from No. 3 high school cheated on the college entrance exam and, rumor has it, the cheater has fled. I closed the game, opened my phone, and silently watched this public trial that was meant for me. The class group chat has over 900 messages already. Most people are in shock, engaged in discussion, and analyzing the situation. Some people said, I've long suspected his grades were suspicious. Some people say, his improvement on the last mock exam was so rapid, it's not normal. Some also remarked, he doesn't really hang out with us much anyway, just seems like the type who'd do something like that. Interesting. I scrolled through and found the message I was looking for. Zhao Lei, my roommate, the guy I once thought was my best friend, he posted a message in the group chat. To be honest, I shared a dorm with Lin Bei, and I always felt something was off about him. He had all these weird apps on his phone, and he was always acting shady before exams. I didn't want to say anything, but now that things have come to this, I think everyone deserves to know the truth. Someone below replied, Lei Gu, you're awesome. Totally true. Another person replied, Lin Bei always seemed so down-to-earth in daily life. I never would have expected this. I stared at Zhao Lei's words. Every word feels familiar, because in his previous life, the content he posted was exactly the same as this, word for word. Even the timestamps were nearly identical, both sent right after the math exam. What does that tell you? It means this wasn't something he typed up on the spot, it's pre-edited, someone told him to post it. In my previous life, when I read those words, my heart felt like it was being squeezed. I was so good to Zhao Lei. Back when school started, he didn't have enough living expenses, so I lent him 1,500 yuan, and he still hasn't paid me back. That's how he repaid me. Never again in this life. I just found it funny. That's really funny. A human witness, bought for 1,500. What a bargain. But I didn't reply in the group. Not the right time. I took a screenshot of Zhao Lei's message, the third piece. Just then, a new message popped up in the group chat. Someone had add everyone. It was Lu Ziqian. His profile picture was a bright, handsome selfie. His smile was clean and warm, the kind that instantly makes you think, this guy must be really easy to get along with. He sent a long message. Everyone, let's not get too worked up. This matter isn't settled yet. Lin Bei and I have always had a good relationship, and I find it hard to believe he'd do something like this, but if the evidence is solid. To be honest, I'd be very disappointed too. Regardless, I hope we can all discuss this rationally and avoid any online harassment. The college entrance exams aren't over yet. Let's all adjust our mindset and keep pushing forward tomorrow. Perfect. The wording is perfect. The stance is perfect. The attitude is perfect. He positioned himself as the fair friend. It conveyed goodwill in speaking up for Lin Bei, while leaving room for, I'd be disappointed too if he really cheated. Meanwhile, he didn't forget to play the role of class leader, reminding everyone to discuss rationally. The comments section is flooded with positive reviews. Ziqian is such a genuinely kind person. I'd be furious if it were me. And Ziqian still defended him. No wonder you're top of the class. You really see the big picture. I laughed out loud. The guy next to me in the internet cafe jumped, took off his headphones, and shot me a look. I gave a dismissive wave. My bad. I just couldn't help it after seeing that performance. Lu Ziqian, you're such a drama queen. In your last life, you used this gentle knife tactic saying kind things about me while stabbing me in the heart. Everyone thought you were the good one, and that I had betrayed your trust. You enjoy this feeling, don't you, savoring the secret thrill of the whole world praising my kindness, while only I know the truth. Pervert. I closed the group chat without saying a word. It's not about keeping my cool, I just genuinely couldn't be bothered with him, because the best is yet to come. At 7 in the evening, Zhou Yan arrived. He came straight over after finishing his math exam, his face still glistening with sweat from running several blocks in the summer dusk. The moment he stepped inside, he slapped a bag of things down on the table. Hungry? I got you some baked flatbread and fried skewers. You're so good to me. Cut the crap. Talk. I turned off the monitor and swiveled my chair to face him. I looked at him for 2 seconds, then I handed him the phone. Start with this. Zhou Yan took it and looked down. On the screen was the text message Lu Ziqian had sent me. Hey bae, good luck on the Gaokao today. Don't accidentally take your phone in with you. Cheating on the college entrance exam is a serious offense. Ha. Zhou Yan read it twice. He looked up, his brow furrowed. This was sent at 6:47 this morning. Just over 2 hours before the start of the college entrance exam. How did he know you'd bring a phone into the exam? Hull, good question. I got my phone back. I didn't bring that phone in. He had placed it under my seat beforehand. Zhou Yan's pupils visibly dilated. What do you mean? What I'm saying is, Lu Ziqian set a trap. He made sure I was caught with a phone under my seat during the college entrance exam. Caught red-handed, with no way to defend myself. Why would he? Because in the recent mock exams, my scores have been catching up to his. He's the top student in our grade and has a guaranteed admission spot through a competition, but there's a condition. He can't fall out of the top 3 in the final grade ranking. If I performed normally, or even exceptionally well, in the actual exam, his ranking could be threatened. Zhou Yan's jaw dropped, his face a picture of utter disbelief. For this, he's willing to ruin you. To him, being top of the class was everything. It was his pride, his ticket to a guaranteed future, his carefully crafted image, his entire life plan, and me, I was just a pawn. He was willing to sacrifice. Zhou Yan remained silent for a long time. He's the type who can't speak when he's angry. His facial muscles twitched uncontrollably, and the skewer of fried skewers in his hand bent under his tight grip. Damn, it took a long time before he finally managed to squeeze out that one word between his teeth. Fuck this. Calm down. What am I supposed to do if I don't get worked up? That goddamn Lu Ziqian. I knew there was something off about him. His smile is as fake as a plastic flower. I've always had a bad feeling about him. You didn't like him in your past life either. What past life? It's nothing. I patted him on the shoulder. Listen to me. I have a plan for this. Not going to the exam hall today is the first step. All of his plans are built on the premise that I show up at the exam hall. If I don't go, his chain of evidence is broken. Next, I'll bring the truth to light, step by step. What do you need me to do? Tomorrow, go to the exam as usual. Do your best in the science and English sections. Don't let me hold you back. Zhou Yan, I looked at him. The best way you can help me is by taking care of your own business. I'll reach out when I need you. Zhou Yan stared at me for a long time, then he nodded. Okay, but promise me one thing. What? Don't carry it all on your own. I smiled. I won't do it anymore. This time, I really won't. Chapter 4. The following day, June 8th, the second day of the National College Entrance Exam. I still didn't go to the exam hall, but I didn't go to the internet cafe either. I went to a much more interesting place. School, that's right. I went to Sanzhong Middle School. The exam site wasn't at Sanzhong today. All the students had gone to other locations. The entire campus was deserted, with only a few teachers and security guards on duty. I came here for one reason only, to find the dean of students, Wang Jianping. I've studied Wang Jianping before. In a past life, you could say. He's in his 50s and has been a dean of students for 20 years, as rigid and by the book as a rusty ruler. But he has one redeeming quality. He respects the rules. After the incident in that past life, he actually suggested that further verification was needed, but Sun Guodong and the principal found it too troublesome. They wanted to wrap things up quickly and sweep it under the rug. Wang Jianping was outvoted and ultimately had no choice but to sign off on it. But they say he hesitated for a long time before putting his signature down. This shows he has doubts in his mind. He just didn't have the courage to go against the current. But what if I bring it right to him? what if I just slap the evidence right on his desk and force him to face it? He's the type of person who simply cannot turn a blind eye when the evidence is solid, because what he fears isn't offending people, but breaking the rules and helping to cover up the truth is, in itself, the greatest violation of all. 8:30 in the morning, I knocked on the door of the dean's office. Wang Jianping was drinking tea and reading the newspaper. When he saw me, his first reaction was, "Lin Bei, why aren't you in the exam hall?" Then it dawned on him, "Oh, so you're yeah, I'm that Lin Bei, the one who brought a phone into the Gaokao to cheat." I sat down across from him. He put down the newspaper, his expression turning serious. "What brings you to me? According to procedure, you should wait for the school's official notice." "Director Wang, I'm turning myself in." He was taken aback. "Turning yourself in?" "No," I said, "I'm here to say hello on behalf of the person who really should." Wang Jianping frowned. "What do you mean?" I placed my phone on the table and opened a folder. "Director Wang, I know you're a man of principles, so today, I won't argue with you. I'll just show you the evidence." I pulled up the first screenshot, Lu Ziqian's text message. Lu Ziqian sent this to me at 6:47 a.m. on the day of the college entrance exam. "Please take a look at the content." Wang Jianping took the phone and read it. "Make sure you don't accidentally take your phone in with you." After reading it, he looked up without saying a word, but the look in their eyes had changed. "Take a look at this again." I pulled up the second screenshot, the Weibo account and post history of Justice Bystander A. This account was just registered today and has made 3 posts, all of them so-called exposés, targeting me. The latest one claims I abandoned the exam and fled after learning I was about to be caught. But Director Wang, you can verify one thing. I was already gone from the exam site before 9 a.m. My phone was discovered at 9:43. I was already marked absent before my phone was ever found. Wang Jianping's frown deepened. I mean, if I had actually brought my phone into the exam room, I would have been caught on the spot. I had no reason to leave before it was discovered, unless I knew all along that a phone would be placed in that spot, so I chose not to go. But if you know, right, that means this was a deliberate plan, and I was the target. The office fell silent, the air conditioner hummed softly, and the enamel teacup on Wang Jianping's desk steamed gently. He didn't speak, but I could tell his mind was racing. After 20 years as a dean of students, he'd seen his fair share of cheating, but someone setting him up, that was a new one, even for him. And there's more. I pulled up the third screenshot. The message Zhao Lei had sent in the class group chat. This message was sent by my roommate Zhao Lei at 5:00 yesterday afternoon. He said he had long suspected something was off about me and listed several pieces of evidence. But Director Wang, the wording in this message is too polished, the reasoning too coherent. It doesn't sound like something a high school student who just finished an exam would type up on the spot. It feels more like it was prepared in advance. After reading it, Wang Jianping fell silent. He returned the phone to me. His fingers tapped lightly on the table. "Lin Bei, the points you've raised do raise some questions, but as you know, these alone don't prove anything." The text messages could be written off as banter between friends, and the anonymous Weibo account could have been created by some random netizen just looking for drama. "I know. What else do you need?" "I need the complete surveillance footage from the examination hall." Wang Jianping looked at me. "The exam hall surveillance footage has been reviewed. I've seen the briefing. There was indeed a phone under your seat." "What about before the exam started? When was the examination hall opened? Did anyone enter the hall before the candidates were admitted? Was the mobile phone placed there before the candidates entered, or was it brought in during the exam? If it was placed before the exam, who put it there?" Wang Jianping's drumming on the table ceased. His gaze toward me shifted, no longer facing the scrutiny of a suspect. Rather, it's the seriousness shown towards someone who raises a reasonable question. "These do need to be verified." "Director Wang," I stood up, "I'm not asking you to believe me right now. I'm only asking for one thing, that the school doesn't label me before the investigation is complete. You're someone who respects rules. One of those rules is, facts must be clear and evidence must be conclusive. Are the facts clear right now?" He remained silent. "Is the evidence conclusive?" He still didn't say a word, but his silence itself was the best answer. I gave him a nod. "Thank you, Director Wang. I'll be going now." "Oh," and I walked to the door and turned back. "If you find anything when you check the surveillance footage, Please let me know. My phone is on 24/7. As I stepped out of the dean's office, the sunlight felt warm on my face. The only sound in the empty schoolyard was the chirping of cicadas. I took a deep breath. The bomb has been planted. Now we just have to wait for Wang Jianping to look into it himself. Will he check it or not? He will definitely look into it. Every word I just said sank into his mind like a nail. He's the dean of students. If it turns out this was a setup and he didn't handle it immediately, then he's guilty of dereliction of duty. For someone who lives by the rules, dereliction of duty is a fate worse than death. I walked out of the school gate and sent Zhou Yan a message. Focus on your exam, everything will be fine. Zhou Yan replied instantly. Are you up to something again? No, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't believe it. Alright then, it's really not very credible, but it doesn't matter. The best is yet to come. Chapter 5. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the National College entrance exams were over. I was waiting at home, my mother sighing beside me. She already knew I hadn't taken the exams. Sun Guodong had called her that afternoon. He was tactful, but his meaning was clear. Your son is in trouble, serious trouble. My mother put down the phone, looked at me, and hesitated for a long moment, unable to find the words. Bebe, why didn't you go to the exam? Mom, I'll handle this. Trust me. Of course I trust you. But, no buts. I pulled her down to sit. Mom, listen to me. Someone is trying to hurt me. If I had gone to the exam, I would have been finished. I didn't go to protect myself. My mother's eyes welled up with tears. Who wants to harm you? You'll find out soon enough. Can't you tell me? Not yet. But I promise. I looked at her. Everything will be fine this time. My mother looked into my eyes. I don't know what she saw, but she suddenly nodded. All right, I believe you, sweetheart. She turned and went to the kitchen to make me some soup. I sat alone in the living room and brushed a finger against the corner of my eye. It's nothing, it's just a bit damp. At 7 in the evening, Wang Jianping called. Lin Bei, come to the school tomorrow morning. His tone was flat, but I could tell, unusually flat, that studied calm usually meant he'd found something unsettling. Sure. Director Wang, what time? 9 o'clock. The principal's office. Am I going alone? No, there are other relevant parties involved, who, you'll see when you get here. He hung up the phone. I sat on the bed, my heart skipping a beat. He's here, he checked, and he found something. I opened my phone and scrolled to Lu Ziqian's WeChat profile picture. He was online, probably anxiously waiting for tomorrow's results. He might still be confidently celebrating his victory, whatever it is. After tomorrow, none of it matters anymore. That night, I slept deeply, no dreams. In the final months of my previous life, I had nightmares every single day, dreaming of the exam hall, dreaming of the phone ringing, dreaming of the invigilator's face, dreaming of those online comments. I dreamed of looking down from the rooftop, the ground drawing closer and closer. But there's nothing tonight. It's very quiet. Only the cicadas outside the window chirp tirelessly. Chapter 6, June 9th. 9:00 a.m. Principal's office. By the time I arrived, the place was already quite full. Principal Lu, Dean Wang Jianping, and homeroom teacher Sun Guodong. There were also two people I didn't recognize. I later learned they were the two invigilators for the exam center. And then, Lu Ziqian, he was sitting at the other end of the sofa, wearing a clean, white shirt, his face wearing its usual gentle smile. He even greeted me as soon as he saw me come in. Hey Bei, are you okay? I heard you weren't feeling well yesterday and I was pretty worried. I looked at him. He smiled so naturally. If I hadn't been reborn once before, if I hadn't seen with my own eyes his heartbroken performance in that interview after my fall, I might have actually been fooled by that smile. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. I sat down across from him. Principal Lu cleared his throat. All right, everyone's here. The reason I've called you all in today concerns the mobile phone that was discovered during the National College Entrance Examinations Chinese language test. This incident has already gained significant traction. It's spreading online, and the Education Bureau is making inquiries. We need to get to the bottom of this quickly and provide a clear account to all parties involved. He glanced at Wang Jianping. Jianping, you're leading the investigation. Start by giving us an update. Wang Jianping nodded. He opened the laptop in front of him and turned the screen to face everyone. Yesterday, I reviewed the complete surveillance footage from the examination hall, covering everything from the setup before the exam to its conclusion. I identified several issues. He clicked to play the first video clip. The footage showed the interior of the examination hall, with a timestamp reading 7:15 a.m. on June 17th. The exam hadn't started yet, and the examination hall was empty, but in the frame, there was a figure. He entered through the back door of the exam hall, moving quickly. He went straight to a seat, bent down to do something beneath the desk, and then left in a hurry. No more than 30 seconds in total. That seat. That's my seat. The image isn't very clear. Due to the angle, the person's face is hard to make out, but his figure was clearly visible, tall, slender, and wearing a dark coat. The meeting room fell silent for a moment. Lu Ziqian's smile remained unchanged, but I noticed his hand resting on his knee, the fingertips tightening slightly. This surveillance footage shows that someone entered the examination hall before the candidates were admitted and placed an item under Lin Bei's seat. Wang Jianping said in an even tone. In other words, that cell phone was not brought in by Lin Bei himself, it was planted there before the exam began. Principal Lu furrowed his brow. So who is this person? The camera angle is limited, and the face isn't very clear. However, based on a comparison of the individual's build and the access records for the exam site, we have identified a few preliminary persons of interest. Wang Jianping didn't say the name directly, but after saying this, his gaze naturally swept over Lu Ziqian. Just a glance, but that one glance caused Lu Ziqian's smile. The first crack had finally appeared. It was incredibly fine. You'd miss it if you weren't looking closely, but I saw it. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly, as if a smile had been cracked open from within by some unseen force. My mind was perfectly calm. I had waited far too long for this moment. Furthermore, Wang Jianping continued, regarding the matter of student Lin Bei's absence from the exam, after verification, it has been confirmed that Lin Bei did not appear at the test site. This is corroborated by both the entrance surveillance footage and the sign-in records. His absence occurred before the exam began, meaning he did not leave during the test, and the notion of fleeing the exam out of guilt is entirely unfounded. He looked at me. Lin Bei, what was the reason for your absence from the exam? I wasn't feeling well, and besides that, I shot him a glance. Then I turned my gaze to Lu Ziqian, because someone tipped me off in advance. All eyes were on me. I took out my phone and opened that text message. At 6:47 a.m. on June 7th, Lu Ziqian sent me this message. I handed the phone to Wang Jianping. Wang Jianping read it over, then passed the phone to the principal. After reading it, the principal's expression changed. He slowly looked up and fixed his gaze on Lu Ziqian. Lu Ziqian, this message. You'd better not accidentally bring your phone in. Can you explain it? All eyes in the room were on Lu Ziqian. His composure finally cracked, but he reacts quickly. Principal, it's just a harmless joke. He smiled, his tone relaxed. Look, everyone gets nervous about the Gaokao. I just sent a message to lighten the mood. Every year, people are reminded, don't forget your admission ticket. I reminded him, don't bring your phone. What's the problem with that? After saying that, he glanced at me, his eyes carrying a hint of, are you making a big deal out of nothing? I have to admit, this guy's ability to think on his feet is seriously impressive. If this were the only text message I had, his explanation would make perfect sense, but I have more than just this one. Lu Ziqian's explanation sounds reasonable, I said, my tone calm, but I'd like to ask a question. Go ahead, said the principal. Lu Ziqian warned me, don't bring your phone in. So, I have to ask, how did he know I was going to bring it in? That's just a casual remark, off the cuff. I cut him off. Let me ask you, before you sent this message, did you send similar reminders to any other classmates? Lu Ziqian was taken aback for a moment. You're on good terms with at least 20 people in our grade. The day before the college entrance exam, you posted a "good luck, everyone" status on your social media, but you sent this private message about phones and the exam hall only to me. Why? He didn't say a word, because you only need to remind one person. My voice is soft, because the phone would only be found under my seat. The meeting room was so quiet you could hear the faint whir of the air conditioning vent. Lu Ziqian's lips moved, as if he wanted to say something, but he found himself stuck. If he said it was just a casual reminder, then why did he only remind me? If he says, because you're prone to carelessness, then I've never brought my phone into an exam room before. Every possible avenue for his explanation was systematically blocked. The principal glanced at Wang Jianping. Wang Jianping replayed the surveillance footage. On the computer screen again, we are still working to confirm the identities of the individuals in this footage. However, one detail can be revealed at this time. He paused for a moment. Access to the back door of the examination room requires a key. According to the test site's management records, a spare key was borrowed in the early hours of June 7th. The person who borrowed it was registered under the name Wang Chang. He looked at Lu Ziqian. Wang Chang is Lu Ziqian's cousin and currently works as a temporary staff member at the school where the exam is being held. Lu Ziqian's face, I don't think I'll ever forget the look on his face at that moment. It was the sound of a shell cracking. That face, perpetually graced with a gentle smile, seemed in that instant to have its corners pressed down by invisible fingers, forcibly dragged into a frown. His lips began to turn pale, his gaze began to grow distant. I don't know what you're talking about. One more thing, I pulled a folder from my seat. It was prepared last night. It contains printed screenshots of Weibo posts, 3 posts by Justice Bystander and the registration IP information of this account. This burner Weibo account, registered on the very day of the National College entrance exam, posted 3 expose threads targeting me. I asked a friend to help trace the registration IP of that account. I handed the paper to the principal. The location corresponding to that IP address was Lu Ziqian's residential complex. Chapter 7. The air in the conference room had gone still. The principal held the paper, his mouth agape, momentarily speechless. Sun Guodong sat in the corner, his expression shifting from an initial, "My student's in trouble, what a hassle," to, "Is this plotline getting a bit beyond my comprehension?" The 2 invigilators looked at each other in silence. Wang Jian's face was expressionless, but I could see him give a slight nod, not at me, but to himself, as if to confirm, just as I thought. And Lu Ziqian, he sat on the sofa, his back rigid, all expression had vanished from his handsome face, not calmness, emptiness. It was like a machine suddenly crashed with a blue screen. Every program went down, leaving only emptiness on the display. Classmate Lu Ziqian, the principal finally spoke, his voice low and heavy. "Do you have anything to explain?" Silence. 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Then Lu Ziqian smiled, not the gentle, polite smile from before. It was a strange kind of laugh. Her lips were curved upward in a smile, but her eyes held no warmth. Explanation. His voice had changed too. It was no longer the gentle, refined tone of the top student in the grade, but a dry, rasping sound that seemed to be forced up from the depths of his throat. "Explain what? You're trying to pin this on me with just this, a text message, an IP address, a blurry surveillance clip." He stood up. "I'm the top student in the entire grade. I've ranked first in every single exam for 3 years. Why would I need to sabotage him? What possible motive could I have?" He pointed at me, his finger trembling. "Him, the guy who just barely cracked the top 5 in a mock exam. Would I really stoop that low?" His voice grew louder and louder. "As for," I said, "it's very calm, because in the last mock exam, you only scored 3 points higher than me." Lu Ziqian's hand froze mid-air. "Last time, 5 points. The time before that, 8. The gap keeps closing. You're scared." I looked at him. "It's not losing that you fear. What you're truly afraid of is being exposed. People realizing you're not as formidable as they thought. You're afraid of losing the halo of being top of the class. You're afraid of your guaranteed admission falling through. You're terrified of the carefully crafted, perfect persona crumbling. Your entire high school life is built on the belief that I am the best, and my progress has shaken that belief to its core." "Shut up." He let out a roar. The gentle and refined school heartthrob shouted out in the principal's office. The sound was as sharp as nails scraping across a blackboard. Everyone was stunned by the sound. Sun Guodong instinctively leaned back, but Lu Ziqian didn't seem to realize he had lost his composure, or perhaps he was beyond caring. "You have no idea. Do you think it's easy to come in first? Do you think I don't work hard? I only sleep 4 hours a day. I get so nervous before every exam that I throw up, but I have to win. I have to be number 1. Because if I'm not first, I'm nothing." His eyes welled up. "It's not an act. She's truly made it. My dad only cares about grades. If I get first place, he says nothing. If I get second, he'll yell at me for a week. Do you know what that feels like? Do you have any idea how exhausted I am?" His voice began to tremble. "Then you came, quiet, unseen, drawing closer each time. Do you know that every night, when I see your name on the leaderboard, my heart trembles. A hush fell over the meeting room. I fell silent too, to be honest. I never heard this line in my past life, because in his past life, he was the victor. He didn't need to break down, didn't need to explain. He won clean and fair, with the whole world on his side. Only I lost the college entrance exam, lost his reputation, lost his life, and finally, lost his life. But now, this lifetime, he finally had to pour out what was hidden beneath that perfect facade. Envy, fear, a soul warped from childhood by distorted education. Can I understand this? Yes. Do I feel sympathy? No. Understanding someone's pain doesn't mean you have to forgive them for passing it on to others. In my past life, when I jumped from the rooftop, I was in agony too, 1,000 times more than his. Lu Ziqian, I spoke. He stared at me blankly, his chest heaving violently. You're living a hard life. I feel for you, but you choose to relieve your exhaustion by destroying others. This is not what you'd call extenuating circumstances. That's called a crime. His lips began to tremble violently. The principal stood up, his face ashen. Enough, Lu Ziqian. There's no need to say any more. I will report this matter truthfully to the Education Bureau. Until then, your college entrance examination results will be temporarily suspended, pending further investigation. No, you can't. In addition, the school will also take appropriate action regarding your behavior of spreading false information and falsely accusing classmates online. Principal, you can't treat me like this. I'm the top student in my grade. You're nothing now, the principal didn't say that. It's Wang Jianping. The head teacher stood there, his expression flat, his tone even, but those words struck like a knife, piercing straight into Lu Ziqian's most vulnerable spot. You are nothing right now. Lu Ziqian's body swayed slightly, then he sat back down. I felt as though all the bones had been sucked out of my body, slumped on the sofa, eyes glazed, lips moving incessantly, yet no sound came out. I stand up as she reached the door. She turned back for one last look at him. He hung his head, hands braced on his knees, his nails dug into his palms. I didn't look any longer. I turned and walked out. The corridor was bathed in warm sunlight. Outside the window, the old locust tree gleamed a brilliant green, while the cicada's drone was deafening. I walked down the empty corridor, my footsteps echoing across the tiled floor. Take a deep breath, spit it back out. In my past life, I jumped off the rooftop of this building. I walked out of the first floor of this building for the last time in my life. Step into the sunlight. Chapter 8. But that's not the end of the story. To be precise, the drama on Lu Ziqian's end is just reaching its climax. That afternoon, Lu Ziqian's father came to the school. Lu's father is the owner of a mid-sized local business. Nothing too powerful, but still a prominent figure in this small city. His voice echoed through 2 floors when he burst into the principal's office. My son has been the top student in his grade for 3 years straight. How dare you treat him like this, on the basis of a single text message, a blurry surveillance clip. I was at the dean's office filling out a form to explain my absence from the exam. The door to Wang Jianping's office was slightly ajar, and the sounds from the hallway came through clearly. Let me make this clear. I will hire a lawyer. If you dare to discipline my son, I will make sure this school ends up in the headlines. A classic example of, I don't care what my son did, but he can't be wronged, kind of parental favoritism. But what he didn't know was, I've kept a backup plan. Last night, after Wang Jianping called and asked me to come to school this morning, I did something. I compiled all the evidence, text message screenshots, Weibo pseudonym screenshots, timeline analysis, and internet cafe surveillance footage, into a complete document. It was then anonymously sent to 3 local media outlets, and the Education Bureau's complaint email address. Not trying to stir things up, it's just for safety. I learned the hard way in my past life about the dangers of internal school handling. Sun Guodong and the principal just wanted to sweep things under the rug, to downplay a major issue until it became a minor one, and then let even that fade away. In the end, it was all brushed aside, and I was the one who suffered. In this life, I will never give anyone the chance to sweep things under the rug. Just as I thought at 3 in the afternoon, the people from the Education Bureau arrived. 2 people arrived. One surnamed Zhang, the other Li. Their demeanor was strictly professional, but it was clear they were under pressure from higher-ups. It's already spreading online. Get to the bottom of this and give us an explanation. The moment Mr. Lu saw the officials from the Education Bureau, his arrogant bluster instantly deflated. As a businessman, he knew better than to mess with government officials. But he still tried to push back. Sir, this must be a misunderstanding. My son is a model student with excellent character. He would never do such a thing. That student, Lin, is the one making false accusations. Regarding the situation with student Lu Ziqian, we will verify it according to procedure, said the cadre surnamed Zhang, expressionless. Furthermore, we have already contacted the school where the exam site is located and the public security authorities. The borrowing records for the backdoor key of the examination hall, as well as the situation concerning Lu Ziqian's cousin Wang Chang, will all be further investigated. The moment the words, public security authorities, were uttered, the color visibly drained from Father Lu's face. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. This was the gap between ordinary people and the organs of power. You might strut at a parent-teacher meeting, but you'll still have to toe the line in front of the Education Bureau. I stood by the window, watching the activity at the entrance to the Academic Affairs office. Zhou Yan stood beside me, holding 2 chilled cans of cola, one for me, one for himself. Was it good? He asked. Not bad, just okay. Look at Lu Ziqian's father's face. It looks like he just swallowed a pound of bitter herbs. It's not over yet. What else? I took a sip of cola. Zhao Lei hasn't made a move yet. That damn thing. Zhou Yan snapped at the name. What he said in the group chat. He was used by Lu Ziqian. He's no saint either. Anyone who'd sell out a friend just because they're being used deserves whatever misfortune comes their way. Don't worry, he won't get away. In the evening, officials from the Education Bureau retrieved more comprehensive evidence, including Wang Chang's statement. Lu Ziqian's cousin couldn't bear the pressure and confessed that Lu Ziqian had asked him to help retrieve the keys and place the phone, including Zhao Lei's chat logs. Lu Ziqian had sent him the exposure template a full week in advance, instructing him to post it according to the script after the incident, including the purchase record for the phone left in the exam hall. It was bought online using Lu Ziqian's mother's ID card and delivered 2 weeks ago. All the evidence fell into place, one piece after another, like a line of dominoes, precise, beautiful, clean and efficient. Lu Ziqian's perfect persona completely crumbled this afternoon. I didn't knock it over, I just let the block tower he built collapse naturally, as its already unstable structure was bound to fall. 8 o'clock in the evening, the school issued an official notice. Following an investigation, it has been confirmed that the incident involving a mobile phone discovered in the Chinese language subject examination hall on June 7 was a deliberate act of framing by a student surnamed Lu against his classmate, surnamed Lin. The facts of the matter have now been established. Consequently, the Gaokao scores of the student involved, Lu, have been invalidated. All his recommendations for admission and eligibility for academic honors have been revoked, and he has been given a major demerit on his record. Student Zhao, who participated in spreading the false information, has been issued a severe warning. The school deeply apologizes for the distress this incident has caused student Lin and his family. The announcement was released. The entire internet went wild. Those who were calling me a cheating dog in the morning were all forwarding the official notice by evening, solemnly declaring, "I suspected something was off for a long time." The tone of the comments section took a complete 180-degree turn. Holy crap, it's actually a frame-up. This school heartthrob's mind is seriously messed up. I'm the one who was wronged here. What did the school do about it before? That guy Zhao Lei sold out his buddies so smoothly. Now who'd dare be friends with him? First in the grade, first in the exam room, but last in character. I read through these comments, but didn't feel anything special. In my past life, their words were the death of me. In this life, these people's words came back to bite Lu Ziqian. In the end, public opinion never sides with the truth. Public opinion only sides with the victor. I was a loser in my past life, so I deserve to be scolded. I'm the winner in this life, so they speak for me. Is it ridiculous? It is, but that's the reality. I put down my phone. My mom brought a bowl of soup from the kitchen. Drink the soup, Mom. Let's have some soup first. I picked up the bowl and took a sip. Motivational quote. It's very fresh, Mom. It's all taken care of. I see. She sat down across from me, her eyes reddening again, but this time, it wasn't from worry, it was from heartache. You knew who was behind it from the very beginning, didn't you? Yeah, then why didn't you tell me earlier? I could have helped you, Mom. The the best way you can help me is by taking good care of yourself. Tears rolled down her face, one by one. They slammed onto the tabletop. My son, you've been wronged. I put down my bowl, walked over, and hugged her. Her shoulders were bony, sharp enough to dig into you. No hard feelings, I said. Not this time. Chapter 9. Zhao Lei came to see me the day after the announcement was issued. He waited downstairs at my place for 2 hours. I spotted him when I went downstairs to take out the trash. Crouched on the steps at the entrance of our building, looking completely wilted, like a cabbage left out in the sun. Seeing me, he shot up from his seat. Lin Bei, listen to me. What are you explaining? I stood before him, holding a trash bag. Explain why you said I always seem off in the group chat, or explain why you helped Lu Ziqian post those threads. Zhao Lei's mouth opened and closed, but he couldn't get a full sentence out for a long time. I was forced to do it. Lu Ziqian, he said if I didn't cooperate, he'd tell the teacher I cheated on my final exam last semester by copying his paper. So you sold me out to save yourself. I'm not. Zhao Lei, I looked at him. You still owe me that 1,500 I lent you. His face flushed a deep red. I'll pay you back next week. Forget it. I picked up the trash bag, stepped around him, and headed for the dumpster. Consider that 1,500 bucks. I tossed the garbage in and dusted off my hands. A lesson learned. What's the lesson? Next time, before you lend money, make sure the person is worth it. Zhao Lei stood rooted to the spot, his expression as if he'd just been slapped across the face. Not the kind of sting that burns, it was that deeper kind of pain, the ache of realizing you're not worthy of being considered a friend. I didn't look at him again. I turned and went upstairs. Zhou Yan later told me that Zhao Lei stood downstairs for another half hour before finally leaving. When he left, it seemed like he was crying. After hearing it, I only said one thing. He certainly didn't cry in his past life. Zhou Yan looked completely bewildered. What past life? It's nothing. In the days that followed, the situation continued to escalate. Lu Ziqian's admission exemption status has been officially revoked. His college entrance exam results were invalidated. The school's disciplinary notice was reposted on the Education Bureau's official website. Wang Cheng was dismissed by the school where the exam center was located. After reviewing all the evidence, the lawyer hired by Lu Ziqian's father advised him, "Drop the case. You can't win, and pursuing it will only make things worse." Dad Lu didn't listen. He refused to accept reality, posting a lengthy article online claiming his son had been framed, that the school's investigation was unfair, and that Lin Bei was the mastermind behind it all. The long article stayed online for less than 6 hours, because the tone in the comments section is like this: "Your son personally ruined someone else's college entrance exam. How dare you still claim innocence? DNA's kicking in, isn't it? So similar. Unbelievably similar. Tell your son to skip college and go straight to Dian Club." His storytelling skills are off the charts. Lu's dad deleted the post, then he deactivated his account. Lu Ziqian himself has not appeared on any social media platform since the incident. I heard he locked himself in his room and didn't come out for 3 days. His mother was crying outside the door. His dad was smashing things in the living room. The once perfect family shattered from within. I don't know if I should feel a sense of grim satisfaction. In my past life, when I jumped from the rooftop, my mother cried too. She cried for a very, very long time. I only found out later that she almost followed me. It was Zhou Yan's mother who stopped her. So, are you satisfied? No, not exactly satisfying, just fair, a long overdue, fundamental fairness.